Hi there, I'm Phoebe Hill from The Lived Perspective and executive producer and podcast host for the Communities of Collaboration podcast, Mental Health Reform, who we are, where we've come from and where we're going next. I'm a white-skinned, short, rusty, forest green and bark brown haired human in a grey long sleeve top, sitting in front of a Zoom room blur so that you can't see my bed in the background. Coming to you from my home on unceded Ngunnawal and Ngambri lands. I'm going to do a little bit of a mashup, if you like, today. So I am bringing you Mental Health Month Musings 6, these pocket notes on person-centered care. However, Thursday is generally the day once a month where I do a little bit of a vlog on the next podcast app coming up. So I'm kind of going to mash the two together. To start with, I am really excited to announce it on the 21st of October. We've got Zoe Simmons' episode coming up, Transmuting Darkness. And this podcast is a really awesome podcast. Zoe is a lived experience journalist, and she has some really beautiful insights into how we can draw on our lived experience of ridiculously challenging times to shape public narratives. And Zoe is a very well-known, becoming increasingly well-known disability advocate and mental health reform advocate. We have some really awesome discussions on what ableism is, what saneism is, what the attitudinal barriers are in our society that limit people's full engagement with a meaningful life. So that's coming up on the 21st of October, Friday at 7 p.m. So please keep your eyes out for it. In terms of the fundraising to keep this podcast going, I'm really grateful to thank the several people that have already donated to the GoFundMe campaign. We now have $270 in the kitty that's going towards the cost of this particular podcast season. And yes, I am still chasing grant applications. And to those of you that have sent through information on various places where I can look at applying for grants to keep us afloat, thank you again. That's also deeply felt and humbly received. So I'd like to maybe issue a challenge. I really hate doing stuff around money. I really do. And it was never particularly the focus. However, we do now have these overheads. We've raised $270 since this GoFundMe link was released about 2 weeks ago. I'm curious to see by the time we get Zoe Simmons' episode up, whether we can maybe double that. Every dollar goes towards covering the $10,000 that this podcast is very unexpectedly incurred. So if you can consider donating, maybe have a think about, I don't know what the podcast has meant to you. I know that when I've worked in other social enterprise companies, it's a model of give what you think is valuable. So I don't know, I'll leave that with you because that stuff just makes me so uncomfortable. However, moving on to today's Fee's pocket notes on person-centered care, I want to give you this clinician-consumer scenario to consider. Person-centered care is not about your perception of my ability or disability. Clinician, consumer. So look, you've told me you have all of these access barriers. That's not a problem. I am here to make sure that you are able to have a full life. What you can't do, I'll do for you. I don't know how I feel about that. Why is that? Well, because I find it really hard to even grapple with the idea that suddenly my mental illness is something that we're calling a disability. But what do you mean? The NDIS talks about psychosocial disability. You obviously have all of these reasons why, you don't, know how to behave in society. So that's okay, because I'll just do it for you. But I'm capable of doing this thing here. No, I'm here to make your life easier. I am here so that you don't stress. And if you don't stress, you can get better. But I want to do that thing. Oh, yes, but you've learned to not ask for help. And I'm here to help you to learn to ask for help. And see. Person-centered care is not about your perception of my ability or disability. If you were to take the place of the consumer in that scenario, at what point would you step in? And how might you shift the narrative? Keep your eyes peeled for episode 6, Zoe Simmons Transmuting Darkness, on Friday, the 21st of October at 7 p.m. Check out the GoFundMe link if it's something that you think you can contribute to. If you see a grant application out there, flick it through to me, please. And we'll catch you on the flip side. See you later.